Night out in New York City took a dangerous turn Tuesday as Prince Harry, Meghan Markle, and Markle's mother involved in what a spokesperson for them called a, quote, near catastrophic car chase. The trio reportedly pursued by aggressive paparazzi for 2 hours following a charity event where Markle had been honored. NYPD assisted with security but say there were no reported collisions, summons, injuries, or arrests. New York City Mayor Eric Adams called the chase reckless and irresponsible.
I would find it hard to believe that there was a 2-hour high-speed chase. That would be, I find it hard to believe, but we will find out the exact duration of it. But if it's 10 minutes, a 10-minute chase is extremely dangerous in New York City.
With more, we are joined by TMZ's Charles Latibeaudiere. Charles, thank you so much for being with us tonight. Let's just get your take on, given the conflicting reports about what actually happened, was this in fact a near catastrophic chase?
I guess that depends on your perspective, right? The mayor is saying that, and NYPD is saying there were no accidents, there were no collisions, no pedestrians hit. So they would look at this as, you know, there was no catastrophe at all. But from the perspective, I think, of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle and Meghan's mother in that car, they would probably see it as near catastrophic because if you know, you're having to speed at speed around 80 miles per hour as there are people pursuing you, that probably feels like a near catastrophe, if not for other people around on the road, maybe even just for yourself. So I think that's the difference here, why they are using the words near catastrophe, but you hear the mayor and NYPD saying that nothing like that happened. As far as how long this whole thing took, look, there's a way to look at this where you could say that they, Harry and Meghan, have embellished this a little bit. What we know is that it did start around 10 o'clock when they left the event in Midtown Manhattan. They got into an SUV, and that's when the chase started. Now, like the mayor said, he said, I doubt that there would be a 2-hour-long high-speed chase. What we know is that the high-speed portion of this was not 2 hours long. I can't say exactly how long, but I know that within an hour and 20 minutes after they left the theater, they showed up at a NYPD precinct. And at that point, they did got out of their SUV and got into a yellow cab. And at that point, there was no more high-speed chase for the rest of the evening. So, no, the mayor's right. It wasn't, from what we know, a 2-hour high-speed chase. But also, like the mayor said, it doesn't take very long if you are in a high-speed chase for something really tragic to happen. Thankfully, It didn't this time.
Yeah, and obviously, anybody that was alive in 1997 remembers the way that Princess Diana died, Harry's mother, in a car chase, being chased by paparazzi. He has talked openly in his book, in interviews surrounding his book, that his greatest fear is this very scenario, that paparazzi will not only hunt him, but hunt his wife. Can you talk about the trauma that he suffered from that and how he processes this?
You know, we're just talking about this today in the office. I haven't read his book, but one of my coworkers, Siobhan, has, and she said that he actually, in the book, talks about going back to that spot in Paris and actually he was in a car with someone and asked them to drive through the tunnel at high speed so he could sort of feel what his mother was going through at that moment. So he clearly has a lot of trauma surrounding that. And I can't imagine how he didn't think about it last night as they were speeding down the FDR Drive in Manhattan at speeds nearing 80 miles per hour. That's, what else would he think about? And the fact that, like you said, he has this concern about his wife. She was with him, and then his mother-in-law is there as well. So that had to be what was going through his mind, certainly his mind, and probably through everyone else's mind in that vehicle at the time. So you know, their perspective on this is going to be much different from everybody else who's watching it and saying, oh, nothing happened. Well, maybe nothing did physically happen to other people, but certainly for Harry, in his mind, there have got to be things that were going on that would be triggers for that past trauma over his mother's death.
Well, we haven't heard the end of this one, I'm sure. So for now, we'll leave it right there. TMZ's Charles Latibeaudiere, thank you so much for being with us tonight.
All right. Thank you, guys.